Hello, everyone. Welcome to the seventh episode of Mental Hygiene Show. I am Vrishti Shah, host for you today, and I am the campaign ambassador at hashtag Mental Hygiene Monday. This campaign is initiated by Mental Hygiene Monday and powered by ArtSecure. Today, we are going to talk about the topic knowing oneself with our guest speaker for today, Ms Spriha Mukherjee. She is the founder of the Cafe of Art Therapy, as well as she is an applied psychologist and an art therapist. Currently, she is the visiting consultant at Wimhan's Hospital, New Delhi. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us here today. We are really grateful to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Vrishti. It's actually a pleasure for me too. Great to be a part of this forum. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So I would like to start by knowing your views on our today's topic, which is knowing oneself.
So I'm glad that you took up this topic because knowing oneself is the first step towards doing something better for self in order to function at your best in your day-to-day life. So I'm glad that this topic has been taken up and as an initiative for everyone to be aware of it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, as I understand that it is really important for us to look into this topic, can we now know what is the meaning of the concept knowing oneself?
Okay, so knowing oneself is the ability of an individual to be able to evaluate, introspect, and reflect over one's functioning in day to day life in different aspects. And this would involve a deeper understanding of how you are as a functioning being with respect to the different dimensions of your existence, that is, your physical existence, your mental existence, your emotional existence, and your spiritual existence. All these four dimensions of existence are to be looked deeper into, understood, and accordingly, it has to be taken into consideration in terms of in what ways the right steps or the right kind of responsibilities should be taken up to make sure that all these dimensions are taken care of and they are intact in terms of maintaining the congruency of your existing self and your ideal self and your overall functioning in a well-being.
Okay, very well said, ma'am. And I think it is really important for us to know ourselves and to know and go deep into our existence. So, now I would like
Absolutely.
to ask you what is self awareness?
So self-awareness, as I shared, that there are three components to it. First, you would be able to evaluate yourself. You would be able to introspect and you would be able to reflect. This would help us understand self-awareness as the process of understanding yourself in a way that you're able to know why you're functioning, how you're functioning, and in what ways can you really enhance your ability to function in different situations and circumstances of life. It is about knowing yourself as you're knowing yourself first as a prior individual in your life. Knowing yourself as your own partner, as your own soulmate. It is the process which is the most important thing to be taken into consideration. And this is not something which should come up at the age of like when the person grows up as an adult, but rather I would say small steps and initiatives should be taken right when the person where the individual is a child, when the child is growing up, when the child is being taken care by the parents or is in an education setup. These things should be kind of taken into consideration. In what ways is the child uh, to be is made aware of one's own existence as a functioning being in day-to-day life. In various ways we can do it. That when the person, when the child is growing up into an adult son and then further adult and an elder adult, that process can continue in various ways. But yes, it has to start pretty early.
Right. I really like how you mentioned that it has to be started very early in life. And that makes us understand how important self awareness is to us. And
Yes.
now, I would like to know if knowing oneself can help us in building relationships.
Absolutely, because then you would be able to understand in what ways are you contributing to the relationship, from your at your own end, from your through your own efforts. We often always see a relationship whenever there's a conflict, whenever there's something which is not going right in a relationship. We always try to find flaws either in the situation or the other person, but we always tend to forget that we are also together making it happen. So when you're self-aware, you're able to reflect onto the dynamics of the relationship from your own perspective too, understanding your ways of acting as a functioning entity in it, and then you're able to come up with possible solutions to make things work out.
Right. So I understand that, it's really important for us to, know ourselves in order to maintain the relationships in a healthy manner.
True.
And I wonder if knowing oneself would have effect on our life choices.
Absolutely. When it comes to your decision making ability, knowing yourself would help you know what exactly you want to want to manifest, or you want to achieve, why you want to do it, and in what ways, how you would like to do it. There would be a clarity in your approach, and that clarity in approach would make your decision making ability all the more effective, and there would be less of regrets and more of learning and progress.
Right. So knowing oneself can actually help us to take healthy decisions, life choices in our day-to-day lives. Correct. Okay. So
Absolutely.
is self-awareness a sign of intelligence then?
So it's a very tricky thing to understand over here that self awareness is not exactly a sign of intelligence, but definitely it is a very important component of emotional intelligence, which actually is important for someone, as you can say a trait or a quality in order to function better in a given environment. So, emotional intelligence, if you know, is about the ability of an individual to understand how to regulate one's own emotion and at the same time process the emotion of the other people they're in interaction with, and accordingly function in a given situation. So when you are aware of your own emotion, when there's self-awareness, you're able to be aware of your own emotions, and at the same time you're able to can like in understand the interaction that your own emotions are having with those people you're coming in interaction with. Then there is a better chance for you to have certain mutual understanding. You are able to bond better. You're able to set your boundaries clear. You're at the same time able to create your own safe space in that interaction. You are able to function as an individual entity, at the same time respect the existence of the other individual. So it is not exactly a sign of intelligence, but definitely it is a component, a very beautiful component of spiritual, social, and emotional intelligence.
Okay,
I
I
would say
think
it's
that is
the
very
basic.
well said. Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
basic
So I
construct.
right. So it is a basic, component which will help
Yes.
us. Right.
Yes.
I think it was beautifully explained because it is really important for us to know how it is a part of our lives.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
So also I would like to ask you if there are some techniques which can aid us to, know ourselves better.
Absolutely. So over here, I would like to lay a lot of emphasis on the practice of mindfulness exercises, because see, mindfulness is not just about meditation or being spiritual. Mindfulness has often been understood as one of these kind of spiritualistic practices. Over here, I would like to bring into people's awareness that mindfulness is about being aware of your state in the current moment, in the current scenario. So if you're wanting to increase your level of self awareness, exercising in a mindful manner or practicing mindfulness exercises could be really helpful. For example, if it is not even proper meditation, if you even if you're doing some visualization on your happy self, maybe, or you are just doing a visualization on your inner peace, then also you would be able to keep certain moments for yourself to dig deeper inside and understand in what ways are you functioning at an emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical level. Then, if you're even going for a walk, if you are, even you're going for a walk alone, and at that point of time, you're spending some time with yourself, you would be able to reflect on yourself better. Even I would say practicing a lot of self-care activities, having a proper set routine for your self-care would help you connect with yourself better, and that would enhance your level of self-care, self-awareness. And then you can even take help from spiritual activities too. For example, if it is about you can take you can take a spiritual coaching or any other spiritual activity which would help you explore your inner self better, which would help you understand your dynamics as an existential being from a different perspective. That would also, maybe give you some certain tools to connect with yourself, and that would help you again with your self awareness. So these are three basic things that I would recommend: that practice mindfulness, practice lots of self care, and at the same time get into certain spiritual coaching practices, take help from them. Also, when it comes to self awareness, I think just keeping certain amount of time from your 24-hour schedule for your own self, to spend that time, to dedicate that time to your own growth, to your own, to introspect what is, going on with you, and to serve yourself with what is needed. That would be enough. Even if you don't specifically utilize your energy towards any of these given activities, if you just take out those number of hours of time every day, and you just dedicate themselves, towards you sincerely, like you do to other aspects of your life, to other people, that would be enough to bring yourself closer to your own self and to be more self aware.
Right. I really like the way you said, that we should, have in the timetable, we should have that particular time for ourselves. I think we always give importance to other things, and having that on the timetable can maybe, help us to actually invest that time in ourselves.
Absolutely.
Also, can you suggest some like self-care activities? What might that include?
Okay, so here's an art therapeutic activity that I can suggest. So this is a clock activity, which I often recommend my client who are wanting to practice self love or self care. You design a clock. You can even paint a clock for yourself, or you can craft a clock base, and later on you can get a wordsmith to add a clock to it. And for every hour mentioned on that clock board, you have to mention a self-care activity or a affirmation that you would like to practice for that moment. For example, at 12 p.m. or a.m., you can just write down hug yourself. At 1 p.m. or a.m., you can just write down that, of course, 1 a.m. you might be, sleeping. But for 1 p.m., you can say that, you can write down that have your lunch, it is good for your health. For 6 o'clock in the evening, maybe you can write down, spend some time with your book. So, like these, you can create a clock wherein you have all the self care activities. These could be an hour long, or it could be just for a couple of minutes. Like hug yourself is just a moment thing. But that small little activity could also add on a lot to your process of connecting with yourself and be self aware. Or you maybe make treating yourself with your favorite beverage or your favorite food item could also do a lot. So this is one activity that I would recommend for self-care. Also, give yourself little challenges each day to do something extra for yourself. That is where you get motivated to fall in love with yourself a little more. We always push ourselves to do things towards other things that we love. Like, for example, that ambition that I want to, achieve, or maybe that person that I love a lot, I would like to do something for them. How many times do you really push yourself to do something for your own self? Give yourself that little challenge in life every day to do something extra, go that extra mile to do something for your own self. These two would be the best self care activities that you can do to fall in love with yourself again and be all the more self aware of your needs.
Right. I like, only by listening to that, I feel that, it would be so much into knowing myself, and, actually having focus on myself and my activities, as well as I think including that would really have an impact. Also with that, I wonder, like, what all like specific activities would be included for mindfulness.
For mindfulness, if you would like to ask specific activities, again, I would mention a couple of art therapy activities if it is convenient for people. At the same time, some like in general ones. So, talking about those that you can do through therapeutic art, one is mandala. coloring and making. Both can be a great mindful process that you can indulged into, because the intricate pattern making has got a lot in it to offer you in terms of helping you with mindfulness, connecting with self, grounding of, like helping you with grounding of emotions, containment of emotions. And another activity that I would like to suggest for mindfulness would be listening to nature sounds. So, like, you have access to YouTube, music's on YouTube, or there are so many other music apps. So, download those kind of sounds which have got to do with the sounds of nature, like that of water bodies, or the chirping of the birds, the rain sound. So these are the kind of sounds to which you can just close your eyes and listen to for 15-20 minutes. And you would see that you would experience some sort of peace, inner peace. And at the same time, you would start digging deep into your own self of existence. And that's where you would be able to be a lot more mindful about how you are in that current state of being, and in what are your needs, as in terms of your physical, mental, and emotional level. And of course, it would leave you with a lot of motivation to process things further. So these are two things that you can do. One was therapeutic art based, one was in general. Also, I would say you can paint to music, any music, and just along with the music, you paint. That also brings a lot of mindfulness. And also for mindfulness, you can, what you can do is just interact with nature in all the possible ways you can, like go out for a walk, or you can even just sit down out in your balcony. If, like, these days, of course, a lot of people are in the pandemic, right now in their houses. So maybe you can sit down in your balcony, or if you have a garden, you can sit down there and just interact with the air around. Just breathe in, breathe out. And in that process, understand how you're breathing in, breathing out. The breathing exercise itself is very mindful. So, in interaction with nature, when you do the breathing exercise, it elevates your state of being, and it helps you being a little more mindful about your existence. And you feel a lot better, you feel a lot relaxed. So, these are three things that you can do to practice
Right.
mindfulness.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for actually giving us tangible activities for self-care and mindfulness, which would really help us to spend some time with ourselves and know ourselves better. Also,
Yes.
how would we come to know that we need professional help
Hmm.
when we lack self-awareness?
That's a beautiful question that you've asked, because a lot of time people feel that ho jayega. They delay things. They try to avoid and deny and delay things. So I would say whenever there is a discrepancy or incongruency between what you want to be and what you are, is the alarming time for you to seek professional help. This seems very general. This seems very day-to-day life concern, but over the period of time, it exceeds. Then of course you get to see dysfunctionalities. A lot of time people then come up with mental health issues. A lot of time they just lose their interest in life. So it is very important that whenever the discrepancy is existing between what you want to be and what you really are being, immediately seek in for professional help. Ask someone to help you pitch in that gap through a bridge, either through therapy, counseling, or coaching, psychological coaching, or any possible ways that can help you come out of it better.
Right. Yeah, I think it's very important for all of us to know that when actually will be that time, we should visit the professional. And I think you beautifully explained all the concepts, and right from, knowing how important self awareness is to us, and going to the techniques, that is self care activities, mindfulness, spending time with yourself and nature. Uh, I think those are great feedback and great activities to take back. And now I would like to thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you to our viewers who are watching us today. I hope you find this session very insightful and useful. Also, you can leave your feedbacks and queries down in the comment box. With that, I would like to join you all for our next episode. which it will be on daily burnout and mental health on 26th August 2020 at 6 p.m. With that, we will be having insightful session on that topic as well. Also, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And I would again like to thank you, ma'am, for your time. And we are really grateful to have you here.
It was my pleasure, Vishati, and I really, really want to pay my heartfelt gratitude to you and your entire team for letting me have this opportunity to interact with you all on such a beautiful topic. I hope I've been able to serve my best, and in any case, I can again be of any help, any contribution. Please do let me know. I would be more than happy to do so.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.